People say to me quite often when I'm traveling, like, oh my god, you're not going to America, are you? Like, America is kind of like crazy. And they're talking politics, of course. They're talking ICE, they're talking many stuff, things that we're bombarded with in media and also not in the mainstream media. And it's all noise to me. I mean, it's not. I keep an eye on it. It's real. I get it. It's kind of going on in our external environment. So's this. So's that. So they, right, are mountains. And they're going to outlive all of this. They're going to outlive the noise. And the birds, they're not interested either in the noise. And my job in life, you know, when I'm in the UK, when I'm in Europe, when I'm teaching and everything, my job is to teach people to listen to the voices and messages, the messaging inside their body. That's it. That's my focus. That's my vocation. That's what I do. And the more we listen to that, and don't get me wrong, I know there's some really difficult stuff going on in the world. I know. And I grew up with really difficult stuff going on in my world. And I survived. I have survived. I still have difficult stuff, really difficult stuff, by the way, going on in my world. But I also have incredible stuff going on in my world. Incredible stuff. And I, just as here, if we can take a moment to tune in to what is real and what is true, what is real and what is true for me in America is that the landscape and the humans that I meet are extraordinary. I am happy. I really am. Being in the landscape, meeting people, and amazing stuff. I come to conferences in America and they're just wonderful. You know, they attract people from all over the world, and I get to network and have a really great time. Just being myself. I get to be really authentically me when I'm here. Really authentically me. I walk into a different version of myself. I mean, I know there's a thing called astrocartography. I've never had it done, but I'm very clear that in different places in the world, I experience myself differently. I experience like my bones are the same, but the energy, the environment, and that I embody can feel different depending on where I am in the world. Just like any relationship that we have with anyone is different with different people. We feel different things. So, and then I work with the bones. I'm obsessed with the bones. So I'm obsessed with what's going on in your internal environment. Excuse me. I'm obsessed about that. And if people who, and I do understand how it sucks us in. Of course it does. And there is an element of responsibility to have that awareness of what's going on for others. But in my own experience, and I can only speak for myself, when I work on the noise in my internal environment, my experience and interpretation of the noise, the views, the perceptions, because let's remember, most of what we see and hear is perception. Everything I'm talking about right now is simply my perception of being in America, my perception of being in my body. And what your perception is your perception. But there is a difference between perception and truth. And my truth, the truth of what I see when I'm in America, for me, for my relationship with my time here, my truth is that there is large scale extraordinary, awesome, spectacular, magnificent, incomparable beauty. I love desert. I love desert mountains. I get all of that here. I get all of that. You know, I was married to an Israeli. My children's father is Israeli. So I spent a lot of time in Israel. I spent a lot of time in a part of the world that is an absolute chaotic tornado of energy in so many ways. It's all about perception, and it's all about noise, and it's all about being bombarded, and it's all about fear, and it's all about terror. And then I get to come here and I get large-scale landscapes, which remind me a lot of my time in the Middle East, but I get large-scale landscapes without that. I know there's stuff going on in the cities, I know there's stuff going on for the people, but in my alignment, on my journey, in my experience right now, that's not the timeline that I'm on. That's not the experience I personally am having. The experience I'm personally having is that I have a message to share, and I get to go share it. It's that simple. And whilst I get to go share it, I also get to go and hang out and be really, really happy in my bones and feel really aligned in my bones. And I do believe that there were times in my life when I was in unexplainable trauma and devastation, where people who were not in that at that point said to me, Victoria, I'm going to hold an incredible vision of you being okay. I'm going to be in my coherence, and I'm going to hold the vision of you moving through this and being okay. So I believe that I now, because I'm in a better place, I'm not by any means completely sorted, but I'm in a much better place of being able to hold coherence for those that are currently not experiencing that. I'm in a position to take responsibility, to stand on my own 2 feet, to engage in my body, to quieten the noise, and to be a beacon of that, so that for those who are not experiencing that, they know it's still possible. They can see an example of that. And I get to do it in places I don't know if I'll always be allowed into America. I'm really not sure. I know nothing. If that happens, it could happen the next time, or it may never happen. I don't know. But I will enjoy my moments when I have them. I really will, to be here and to enjoy my time in America. And I really want to say that if there was no mainstream media, and if there were no people very, very much traumatized on a spectrum of disturbance, that perspective wouldn't be there. And if there is a circle, we teach everything in mechanics in clock faces, but if there was a circle and one clock face, 12 o'clock is there, 6 o'clock is there, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Okay, so we've got that spectrum. We've then got another clock face which goes up that way, so 12 o'clock above, 6 o'clock below, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock. And then we have another spectrum, another clock face. 12 o'clock is there, 3 o'clock is there, 6 o'clock. So we have these 3 globes of perspective, okay? And whatever's happening in the middle, you could look at it from all of those different perspectives. And what I teach and what I create and what I do as much as I can for myself, I don't always get it right, but I try, is to teach people to get the perspective of all those different perspectives on themselves internally. And as they start to get all those different perspectives, so on the same thing, am I looking at it from there? Am I looking at it from there? Am I looking at it from here? Am I looking at it from there? As they begin to get that 3-dimensional perspective on every bone and every joint in their body, something extraordinary happens, and they start to feel that more about life in general, more about their relationships. Very, very difficult if you've been locked in an alignment to move your perspective of that point to a different place when you don't even have a sense that different place exists. But I think that's my relationship of being in America. Is like I just have a very, very different perspective. I'm looking at everything from a very, very different place, and I'm on my own journey, and you're on your own journey. Anyway, sharing that because I've got time to in this beautiful place today, and sending love. Okay, bye bye.